All right, we're going to give you an introduction to the fitness center so you can utilize this fitness center after school or anytime you need to. We're going to give you a demonstration of the machines. We'll tell you what major muscles you're using, the name of the machine, and how to use them correctly. So first exercise machine we're going to show you. This is called a decline bench. So you're going to put your legs over top of here, feet under there, and you're just bringing your body up, working on your core. It's called a decline bench, working on your abs. If you want to do a little rotation like this, now you're working on your external obliques. Hold this handle to come off and slide down. Now, one pet peeve about this machine, Mr. Shockey, I want to show the fans here, is that when you want to raise or lower this, always have a hand on the bench part, and there's a lever underneath here to raise it or lower it. But don't come over here and just lift the lever. Always have to have a hand on the bench. Next machine, opposite of the core, we're working on the lower back. This is called your spinal erectors muscles, and this is the back extension. So let me show you how to get up this again real quickly. So have one hand here. Put your feet over top, other hand here, and then you put your hips on the pads. Slide that cord out a little bit. Now all you're going to be doing is going down, bend down, come up to about 180 degrees. Put your arms out if you want. You can hold a weight if you want to make it a little more difficult. Bend down, come up 180 degrees. Don't hyperextend up here too much. Just keep it straight. When you're done, hands on the grips. Slide down, and we're off. So we have a core exercise, we have a lower back exercise. Now we get into what we call selectorized machines. You have a pin that you're going to put into the weight stack. So you slide the pin in. Most of the weight stacks are 12.5 pounds, some are 8. You want to adjust the bench, or the part here, so you're just putting your feet under and you're secure down here with your lower body. So this is called the lat pull down, which works the lats, the back muscles, upper back muscles. So I slide in, get locked in, pull down on my chest, bring it back slowly. So pulling down to a count of 2, coming back to a count of 4. Slowly come up. What you don't want to do is you don't want to let the weights bang when you bring the weights back to the stack. And Mr. Shockey, let's talk about breathing here, because you need to breathe when you're lifting weights. We always want you to exhale on the hard part, inhale on the easier part. So for a lat pull down, hard part's bringing it down, exhale, inhale on the way up on the easy part. Next machine we have is the chest press. A couple things that we want to look at here real quick before we start. So you adjust the weight, adjust the seat height. I have all the seat heights adjusted just so we can go a little quicker here. But basically, if you're 5'10" to 6 foot or so, you're going to be down at 1, 2, or 3 on the seats down here. If you're 5'6" to 6 foot, you're going to be maybe 3, 4, 5 or so. If you're shorter, 5 foot to 5'6", you're going to be down at 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have it adjusted for me. This is a chest press. It also goes to a shoulder press. So I sit in, lean back, neutral grip here, exhale on the way out, inhale on the way down, exhale, inhale. You have a neutral grip, you have a horizontal grip. This makes it a little more difficult, just a little different angle in the muscles. So we have lats, that's your upper back muscles, and now we have chest press. And moving on, now we're going to a lateral deltoid. This is working on your shoulders, on the middle part of your shoulders. Sit in against the pads, straight out and down. Out and hold, and bring it down. Excellent exercise for the delts. Also speaking, you're working on your anterior delts here, front part of your deltoids. Here you're working on the medial part of your deltoids, the middle part. And this machine is working on your rear delts. This is a dual purpose machine. I'm going to show you the rear delt first. And if you have questions as you're going through these machines, they do have information on the machines that you can look at to determine how to use it. So on the rear delts, I'm going with my chest against the pad, arms in, bring it back to the side, And again, bring it in slowly. Back to a count of 2, into a count of 4. Now, as I change this machine, it goes also to a pec exercise. So I'm bringing these pieces down, bringing them out. Normally suggest somewhere between 1 and 4 when you start this. And now with the pec exercise, you're facing the other way, back against the pad. Arms out to the side, straight in, little tap, tap, and bring it back. Tap, tap, bring it back. Now you're working on your pecs. Okay, now we're working on a bicep tricep machine. On a bicep, you bring your weight up, back straight, elbows tucked in close to your rib cage, and just going through bicep curls, which works the biceps. If you want to work the triceps, the back part of your arms, you can have the hand grip over top. And now you're, again, same thing, you're back straight, bringing the weight down, elbows tucked in close to your rib cage, and just bring the weight back to your chest level and down. Up to the chest and down. A lot of people do this incorrectly where they'll just let the weight go all the way back like this and push it down. Also with the bicep curls, another way people do it incorrectly is they'll start here and they'll just throw the weight up and let momentum work. So you want to lift slowly with control so you're getting the most efficient workout. This machine is the same. We do have a rope for a tricep push down. So you go out to the side a little bit when you're done. You push down, or pull down and come out to the side. Finally, we started with an ab machine, we end with an ab machine. So this is basically our upper body row. We start with a lower body on the other side and some upper body machines down at the end, but this is basically an upper body row. So here you start with a crunch machine and you're initiating the movement with your stomach. So you're pulling with your stomach and then coming back slowly, resisting that weight stack, coming back. Pulling out, coming back slowly. Again, sometimes people do this incorrectly. They'll just sit here with the arms, not doing much with the stomach. Mr. Shockey, while we're here, we're going to give our people a chance to do some extra credit. While I'm still in the building, we give extra credit. We call it a hanging L seat, where you try to bring your legs out to the side on a pull-up bar. So if they can hold this for 10 seconds, you can see me for Yum Yums. That's candy. So you pull yourself above the bar, try to keep your legs straight out for 10 seconds, and Mr. Track will give you Yum Yums. Come down slowly. I'll show you a machine that will help you do that later on. Let's go over to the bench press. Actually, we'll start with the hip sled first. Another thing, when you come on a machine like this, try not to step on the benches, the pads. It says do not step on, but instead of stepping on the pad, step in, sit down. And here we're starting feet away from your body, shoulder width at least, toes slightly out. We're going to push out, lever right here releases the weight. I bring it back at a 90 degree angle and push up. Try not to lock your knees out. Let it come back in, push it out. When you're done, you lock the weight back. Again, how do you get out of this machine? Hold on here, step away from the pads. Okay, now we go to a bench press machine. Now this is a machine that you need to have a spotter. So a couple things about this, if I can get around this side. If I'm the spotter, one of my jobs is make sure we have the same amount of weight on both sides. Make sure we have muscle clamps on. So these clamps go in like this. Thick part goes in first, slide it in, turn it. Same on the other side. I want to double check that the weight's correct on both sides. I'm going to be up here spotting, so I'm going to let the lifter lift. I'm going to help unrack the weight for the lifter, and when they need help to bring it up, I'm going to bend a little bit. I don't want to just keep my legs straight because I could hurt my back lifting a lot of weight with the lifter. So I'm going to help lift the weight back to the rack when they're done. So you always want to have a spotter for the bench press. This works on your pecs, also works on your triceps. So when you're coming in, you're going to get your grip correct, and that was the other thing a spotter should help do. So you have a gnarled part, you have a smooth part, you have a gnarled part. So get your grip the same distance apart, and then you push the weight up, bring it down, lightly touch your chest, push it up. Again, exhale on the hard part, which is right here, breathing out, breathing in on the easy part. When we're done, my spotter will help me rack it. And there we go. Okay, now we're moving on to our lower body machines. So this is called a leg press. The other one we did was a hip sled / leg press. Same idea here. You're going to be starting feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly pointed outwards, and you're pushing back. You try not to lock the knees out, just slight bend, and then push in or let it slide in, push back, and slide it in. Next two machines are combo machines. You're working on your hamstrings and your quads. So we'll set up for this one first. This is going to be working on your hamstring. You're going to bring the feet over top of the pad. You're going to lock yourself in like you're in a spacecraft here now. And I'm going to push my heels down towards my butt. And that's working on the lower backside of my legs, my hamstrings. When I'm done that, I want to work on the quads. Then I release here. I don't know if you can get a close-up of the levers I'm pulling here. Pull this out, and then that releases you. And now also, if I want to switch this around, I'm going to bring this way down the other end, get my feet around. And now I'm set for working on quads. Again, stabilize the lower body with this. Legs straight out. You're extending your legs. This is called leg extension. Working your quads. The other way was a leg flexion or curl, working your hamstrings. All done. Now, same machines, a little different for the hamstrings, but this is your leg extension again with your quads. Straight up and back. Hold on the hand grip, try to keep your back straight, so no movement with the upper body, working on your quads. Now, when I flip over for the hamstrings, what I want to make sure I'm doing here, I'm going to get my kneecaps off the pads. So as I slide in, I want to get my kneecaps here and not right on the pads. So adjust that first. Elbows here, hand grip here. Same thing I did on the other machine. Heels to the butt, working on the hamstring. One thing you'll hear, not hear, as we go through these machines also, you don't want to hear a lot of banging on the machines. You don't want to let the weight just drop back on the machines. You want to bring them back slowly each time. Excellent machine here. We have 4-way hip machine, and it does 4 muscles that will work your quads, your hamstrings, adductors, and abductors. So I'll show you all with a left leg only on this one, and we just switch it for the right. You have a couple adjustments here. First thing is, this is your main adjustment that you're going to be using to raise or lower that pad. This brings it up higher or lower. Like I said, I adjusted all these ahead of time for time's sake. Most of the machines I use here I'm at a 4 or 5. And this is just adjustment just so this is not right on your kneecap. So this is all set for me to go. Bringing the knee up to my chest. So I'm working the quads. If I want to work the opposite, the hamstring, I'm going to raise this. And I want to put my foot over top. We call it a donkey kick. You're bringing the weight back. It's also working on your lower glutes. This is your hamstring. And now if I want to work the adductors, I'm going to bring the weight from the inside out, like this. Or if I want to work the abductors outside my hips, I'm now going to go from the inside out. Okay, we're moving on. This machine now is the same one that we saw over here. So this is your chest press, shoulder press machine. I didn't show you the adjustment on that, but if you want to take it from a chest exercise to a shoulder, if you want to get a close up here, it actually says down here chest. And if you want to bring it up a little bit more, it says incline. So that's your upper chest, a little bit more in the shoulder, the deltoid area. You bring it straight up. says shoulder, so now it's your deltoids. So versatile machine. This machine is similar to the other lat pull down. Again, if you want to line it up, make sure the seat adjustment is set first. I see a lot of students, people come in, this is way down here and they're not snug on the machine. So bring this up to the point where when you sit in, you're clamped in pretty good with your thighs. This is a close grip lat pull down. Bring it down towards your chest. Slowly back. Again, count of 2 on the way down. Count of 4 on the way back. Also have a mid-row part of this machine. Just pull it back towards your chest. Bring it back slowly. Pull back. Release slow. Mr. Shockey, this is one of my favorite machines. This is a machine that you can use to do pull-ups and dips. A lot of students that can't do pull-ups or dips with their own body weight. This is a machine that helps you because it works those different muscles. So if you're doing pull-ups, you're working on your back and your biceps. If you're doing dips, you're working on your chest, your pecs, and your triceps. The one thing about this machine is that it's different from any other machine in here in the fact that the lower the number, every other machine, the easier it is. The higher the number, it's harder. This is the opposite. So the higher the number is very easy, lower number very hard. So I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle and show you how to use the machine, and also a pet peeve of mine, how students will maybe sometimes get off of this machine. With your pull-ups, you can have a couple different grips, A, B, C, D. So I'll use a standard pull-up grip, and I'll step up on the bar, come all the way down, and up. So you're doing pull-ups, but this machine is giving me a little bit of help. Now when I come off this machine, here's what some people don't do. They'll step here and they'll step off and the machine bangs, the weights stacks bang. You want to bring this back real slowly with your other leg, and then you can step off. And I'll show you that again after we do some dips. The dip, same thing. You have a grip that's, if you're a little more petite, little smaller shoulders or wider shoulders for bigger people, I'll bring it in a little bit. Go through your dip movement, up and down. Come off again, 1 foot first, and then bring the weight back, and then the second foot off. Very important, Mr. Shockey, to do that. Next one we have, this is a great exercise. I showed you the little extra credit that I'd give you some yum-yums for, as long as I'm in the building. So this is the machine will help you do that. I'll give you a little progression too. So you can start here and just hold your body weight, bring your knees up to your chest. This position, your knees bent, it's fairly easy. If you want to go with a pike position, bring your legs straight out, hold for a second, come down. It's another option here. You can go work on your obliques a little bit. You kick it out to the side, right side, left side. So there's some options to work on your abdominal muscles. If you want to do some dips, face the opposite way, bring your weight up, and you're doing dips on this machine as well. All right, one more here. So now we get into some free weights. Here you have what we call an easy curl bar. It weighs 15 pounds. You have the weights on the side, should be the same weight. Again, with the clamps that we showed you before, thick part goes in, turn it, and you can do all kinds of different exercises here. You can do curls, you can do overhead presses, you can do reverse curls, all different kind of things you can do with the easy curl bar. All right, let's move on to the Smith machine over here. We're not going to show you every machine, but we'll show you most of the machines, so when you come in, you have a good idea of how to use these. The Smith machine is a machine that I call the junior varsity bench press. Before you get to the bench press, you want to be able to know you can at least lift 45 pounds. So this bar is on a glide. It's easy to use. You don't need a spotter. It's 15 pounds, so whatever weight you add on, if you can lift at least 45 pounds, then you're ready to go to the Olympic bar over there, which is 45 pounds, and then you can add weight for the bench press. On this one, when you set it up, and again, let me show you, you can slide this forwards or backwards. It's on a wheel pulley. I want to raise this a little bit to get in. One rule of thumb here is don't smash your head when you come into a bar. So I lay back. Again, the grip's the same. You have a smooth part, you have a gnarled part. So the bottom line is you want to get your grip the same distance apart. Little pinky ring finger indentation here as well. So I'm going to push this up, bring it down to my chest. There's weights or pads here that are safety pads that will allow me not to have the weight land on my chest. So I bring it up, bring it down slowly, light tap. When I'm done, all the way up. And Mr. Shockey, if we can get a picture over here of the safety brakes. When you're laying here, you want to be looking across and just, these should be slightly higher than your chest. So all you do is you raise or lower that on both sides. And that's one reason you don't need a spotter. Okay, that's our JV bench presser called the Smith machine, probably named after Mr. Smith. Let's go to the squat racks. As you go through these, let me show you how to adjust this as well. There's numbers in here. Maybe you can get a close-up. I'm at 13. An easy way to tell is when you go 13, 14, 15 or lower. When you come to the bar should be under your chin. So that machine, if you want to, that's up at 15, that would be too high. 13 for me, it's under my chest. So when I go in to do a squat, I'm facing the wall. Again, grip same distance apart is very important here. So I step in, put that weight right on the upper neck, lift it up, take 2 steps back, and as you do your squats, you want to drop your weight like you're sitting down. You get almost to a 90-degree angle down here, and push up. So your chest is up, your head's up, push your butt back, drop low, lift up. When you go to rack it, you take those 2 steps forwards and drop it in. So there's your squat rack. Okay, so this is a cable crossover machine, a very versatile machine you can use for a lot of different muscle groups. If you close in here a little bit, lower body exercises, there's a slew of them, and some of these mimic what those machines can do. There's different apparatus to put on. This one you would use for your lower body. They're all on carabiners here. You just clip it out, clip this in. You can add different ones if you want. Again, handle grip, dual grip here. You have a rope. So a lot of different exercises you can do. So this side is lower body, and then here's some upper body exercises as well that you can do on the cable crossover machine. I won't go through them. There's just a slew of different exercises you can use. Also a pull-up bar, and we're moving on now to the cardio machines. So these are some of our students' favorites. We have 2 recumbent bikes. I'm not going to demonstrate all these. I'll just demonstrate one as far as how the computer works on the machines. But we have 2 recumbent bikes. We have 2 upright bikes. And we have 3 treadmills, 2 arc trainers, aka steppers, and then 3 treadmills. As far as the treadmills go, if you feel uncomfortable being on a treadmill, we have clips that can go onto your shirt or shorts. So if you would ever fall, this automatically cuts the machine. And if you're familiar with running and you're comfortable with that, you don't need to use a clip. But it's a safety device, just want to make you aware of. The other machines I'll just show you so you have a couple options to start. I'll get on one of the treadmills here, or the elliptical machines here. So Mr. Shockey, if you want to come around from this side, we'll show you how it works. You have to start moving on the elliptical first, and it's going to say either press quick start or enter. If I want to do quick start, I'm just going to hit quick start, and then I adjust the resistance on my own, make it harder. That's harder, and this would be easier. If I want to do one of the programs that these machines have, and there's a slew of programs here that you have options for, so I'll follow the prompts. So I want to hit enter, and I'm going to choose number 3, which is a cross-country course. Then I hit enter. Give you 30 minutes, you can do anything you want. It goes down to 10 at the least, but let's say I'll pick 15 minutes. Hit enter. I weigh about 155, put my weight in. I always cheat this, I tell them I'm 33 because I want more of a workout. And there's your program. It'll warm you up, and then eventually it will cool you down. The Silver Grips will give you a heart rate. So you see HR come up, and in a couple seconds your heart rate will come up. So mine's 101. You want to try to get your heart rate up to a target heart rate level, which is different for every person, but you go through your workout. When I'm all done, 15 minutes later, this will close down and I'm done. Again, all the machines, all the cardio machines are very similar to that. They'll give you the prompts. You have two choices. You have a quick start, counts down, and then you adjust your speed, you adjust the resistance. If you want to do a program, you can enter whatever program it is, and it runs you through that time. You have to enter the prompts. It's always going to be 10 minutes minimum. And that's the end of the cardio machines. Let's move on to the very last things, and then you'll be able to get your own workout going. So over here we have a slew of dumbbells. If you want to spin to the left there, we have just a rack of 10-pound dumbbells where a lot of people like to use those. And then we have heavier weights. They're all labeled here. So dumbbells you can work out in the fitness center. That's no problem. If you decide to use the kettlebells, there's a lot of similar movements that you can use for dumbbells, but they demand a little more space. So we suggest you probably work out in the lobby to do that. Also medicine balls, you can use medicine balls in here. Again, we'd encourage you to do that out in the lobby, throwing medicine balls back and forth. So there's some other options that you can use while working out in the fitness center as well. Hope you enjoy working out here, and if you have any questions, you can always see me at any time. Thanks a lot.